Here's a full workout. Follow along if you want. Take some ideas, apply it to your own training, your own mobility drills, your own health, well-being, so you can surf. So what is this whole surf fitness thing? Really, it's just smart application of strength and conditioning protocols applied to somebody that surfs. So it applies to me. The similar aspects would apply to you, but it might be less intense exercises, more intense exercises. Maybe it's focused more on flexibility, perhaps more on endurance. Maybe you're going through some shoulder rehab protocols. But the idea is that it carries over to our movement requirements as a surfer. There's huge requirements for flexibility and mobility, coordination, agility, strength, power, and endurance, squatting patterns, lunges, twisting, bending. Does your training reflect that? So again, have a think, apply smart training protocols. You can find all sorts of stuff on my website, surfstrengthcoach.com, and have a look at some things I'm doing, ask some questions, get in touch, apply some of this stuff to what you're doing with your training, and hopefully it carries over to your surfing.
I'm warming up using some sequences from foundation training, specifically this wide leg founder and also some windmills, and then some full body dynamic mobility sequences. I highly urge you to get familiar with foundation training. You can reach out with me. We can do some online consultations, or you can find someone in your area that can teach you the subtle but highly efficient details for foundation training. I think it's one of the keys to an optimally functioning body, especially for those of us that surf. So you can see I'm getting a lot of hip mobility, thoracic spine rotation, but I'm also really working on stability and muscular activation around the pelvis and back. I then immediately move into this crawl position to a downward dog and some ankle pumps to start mobilizing that ankle joint. And do like a sphinx or a cobra, really working to get the upper portions of the thoracic spine into extension. From there, moving back into a downward dog. And then I'm going to hop forward after some ankle pumps and really work on that low squat position where I'm prying the hips out, as well as then incorporating some, again, upper body mobility, getting some thoracic spine movement, as well as getting that shoulder joint moving. Back into a good tight, stable crawl position, into that downward dog. Ankle pumps, again, into that sphinx cobra position, making sure the upper portions of my spine are contributing to extension. I'll then drop back into that downward dog. This time in that squat position, I'm going to mobilize the hip joints into some internal and external rotation. The Turkish GETUP is a drill that everybody should become proficient with, as it has this unique ability to hit aspects of strength and control, as well as mobility and flexibility. In this drill, I'll aim to hit 1 to 2 repetitions per side. I'm using a 20 kilogram kettlebell. Most people should start with something in the neighborhood of 8 to 12 kilos. Each individual position is a movement, a workout in itself. So make each position perfect. Focus on alignment, focus on breathing, focus on control. I then move into power jumps. I'm looking to create as much force as possible and land with perfect alignment. Do not sacrifice form for quality. This is an advanced level movement. There might be a couple steps back that most people need to start at. I'm creating rotation around that leading hip, trying to link my torso with the pelvis. Don't use just the arms to create this power. It's coming from the core. I'm trying to move as quickly and explosively as possible. That's why we're keeping the reps low. Again, this is a very advanced drill. This is a great pulling drill, also linking it with the lower body, putting us in a staggered stance, essentially a lunge position. Surfers will find themselves very often. It's also integrating the core. So you can go a bit heavy with these, up somewhere in the 10 to 12 rep range, get low, get controlled, get stable, and then drive that pull. I'm putting a lot of force through my front leg and keeping that front hip very stable and controlled, and using that as an anchor to then drive rotation into the opposite side of the upper body. This is also a pretty advanced exercise. You may just be okay working on simply jackknives, working on some upper body mobility and strength, as well as a lot of lower body hip flexibility and core control. Perfect repetitions only. Perform as many reps as you can with perfect form. Again, this is quite an advanced exercise. You may need to drop to just jackknives. The key with battle ropes is posture and alignment. You will see most people sacrifice posture, drop into that slumped computer offset postural position. Maintain alignment. Go for 30 seconds of work and then 15 seconds rest. Repeat that 3 to 5 rounds. Again, notice the alignment of the spine. I'm not slouching. I'm not extending my head forward. I'm keeping a nice vertical spinal position and moving the arms around a stable torso. 30 seconds on, that 15-second rest period, focus on recovering your breath as quickly and efficiently as possible. Expel CO2, intake oxygen, try to slow down the breath rate, the heart rate, get that alignment going again, and go for another round. We can always add some extra focus to the muscles around the shoulder girdle. This is doing a lot of work for primarily mid-trap and low trap, but you're also getting some posterior deltoid. Slow, controlled raises. This does not take much weight. Focus on creating the momentum from pulling the shoulder blade towards the spine in equilibrium with the arm coming up. As you row, think of lifting the front of the shoulder away from a bench. You should feel this primarily between the shoulder blades. Slow, controlled repetitions. Some more love for the shoulder girdle and the rotator cuff. Slow, controlled external rotations. Again, very lightweight. Think of just rotating that glenohumeral joint, so the arm bone in its socket, and control that rotation. So if my elbow was not on my knee, it wouldn't move. I would maintain that center axis of rotation. Lighter weight than you think you need, slow, controlled movement.
So there you go, a training session. Modify it, break it down, slow it down, progress it. It's fundamental movement patterns that carry over to the surf. And they're either progressed or regressed. There's twisting, there's lunging, there's bending, there's mobility, flexibility, endurance. So you just scale it to your needs, but only use movements that you can perform with perfect control and repetition. Look at this about training for longevity and control and quality. Training isn't about smashing yourself into this puddle of nausea and vomit. It's about improving your fundamental movement capacity so that when you get into the water, your body isn't hindered by limitation or lack of endurance or lack of flexibility. So what you're doing within the gym is improving those motor patterns that let us do what we want to do in life, and for a lot of us that's surfing. So again, use this as a framework. Maybe you need to work more on endurance. Maybe you need more mobility. Maybe you need more strength movements for a bit of time. Fundamental movement patterns: lunging, squatting, bending, pushing, twisting, pulling. Did I say that one? And then train for strength, for power, or flexibility. Progress, regress, train with perfect form. Get in touch. Check out our website, an app in the works. Improve how you move so you can improve your surfing. Cool? I'm Chris Mills, surfstrengthcoach.com. Peace.